Welcome to Cooking with Smokin Bunny. Tonight we're gonna cook risotto with rabbit stock. Yeah, my ex-wife's stock. I don't know if I ever told you kids this, but the first thing you want to do when you're cooking is get all your ingredients together. It makes it easier when you're looking for things because they're all right there sitting on the table. So keeping things simple, right? Because we made that stock, that was simple. Cooking the rabbit, that wasn't too hard, was it, kids? We got our half an onion, we got a half a head of garlic, we got a pile of rabbit meat, and we got our stock. When you're thinking about it and you're thinking, hey, how do I get to the tastiest part of the cigarette, right? Well, you rip the tip off before you start smoking it. And then you get down to this part right here. Oh, so much faster, and this is the real tasty part of the cigarette. Let's go deal with that stock, alright, kids? That looks like a picture of the Earth from space, but it's not. What that is it's fat, and it's all coagulated and floating on the top of the rabbit stock there. So the first thing you want to do when you take your rabbit stock out of the refrigerator, the ice box, or outside if you live in a cold place where you could store things, because it's probably below freezing out there in the winter. So if you got your stock outside, bring it in. Take off the cover that you put on it so the bugs and the bears don't eat it. And then you take the fat off the top of it. So now I'll show you how to take the fat off the top right now. Hey, there we go, like this. See that? You just get your spoon, take all that stuff, and you throw it out, right? So, dump it in the sink. It doesn't matter, it's your sink, right? And then we'll be back in a moment, then we'll strain it, and you'll see. Okay, so then you go and you get your stock, right? And you scrape all the fat off. So it still got some fat, that's okay. Who has time to scrape all the fat off? Not me. Do you? How much time you got, huh? Alright, so we pour the thing in there like that, right? Okay, there it goes. Oh, that's good. Stock right there. Look at the color. Look at the way it pours. And now we got this gunk down here on the bottom of the pan. Okay? So then you just get, you don't take that. And you take that whole pile of stuff there and you put that on the stove. And we're going to warm that up, so we're going to make risotto. So while that's warming up, we're going to go get the last of our ingredients. That's the rice, kids. So then you're going to go there and get your risotto rice. And you're just going to dump it in there. So, you're going to dump in about as much as you want. Kind of depends on how much you want. I don't know how much you want. Okay, so there you go. That's about 2 cups, right? Okay, so you get 2 cups of risotto rice. It's arboreal rice. You could take some other kind of rice if you like. There's a few kinds of rice you can make risotto with. But I like to use arboreal rice. So I've showed you lots of times how to cut onion and garlic, so you shouldn't really have any questions about it at this point. If you do still have questions, I suggest you go back and watch the other episodes again, because you've forgotten. I don't know what you were doing that made you forget. But I like to smoke cigarettes and they help me remember things. So anyway, did you remember how to cut the onion and garlic? And so now, there's the onion and garlic. That's what it should look like. If you don't know how to cut it, just choose your weapon and make it look like that. We got all our ingredients together. And so now it's time to make risotto. We got the pan on the stove heating up. We got the other pan. It's got the rabbit stock in it. And we got the onions and the garlic. And we can put some olive oil in the pan when it gets hot. And we got the rice over there. And so now we're going to make some risotto. And then we toss rabbit meat in there. And then maybe we get some cheese. I got to go talk to somebody about the cheese now. So when your pan gets hot there, then you're gonna go and you're gonna add the olive oil in there, and then you just put the rice in there and you stir it up, okay? Get yourself a wooden spoon too, so you can hear it sizzling down there. That's good, kids. Okay. So what we want to remember is you never try this with corn. It'll pop in your face, okay? And lots of people there, they would tell you that this stuff here, it's not quite really see-through yet. You really want to get this stuff clear, you see. So, but I'm going to tell you, it's good enough for now because we're doing this easy. I'm going to toss that in there. And we're going to toss that in there, right? Get all the rest of it in there. Stir it up, right? There you go. And just stir that all up with the rice there. Now we just added some onions and garlic, and what do you always want to do when you add the onions and garlic, kids, right? You're always going to want to add some salt. Because if you don't, your risotto's going to taste like mush, kids. You don't want mushy risotto. Well, risotto is kind of mushy, I guess. But you don't want it to taste flat. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now you're all cooking up nicely. You can see it's starting to brown. That's bad, kids. You don't want to let your rice brown. So that's the part where you go and you get a ladle full of your stock. And there you go, kids, and you just slowly stir that up, and when all that goes down, you add more stock. So it's bubbling like that, right? It's almost time for some more liquid. So you put some more liquid in there, right? A little bit more. So you're slowly cooking your risotto, you're stirring it. You always want to be stirring your risotto so that it cooks like that. And that's all you're going to do. You're just going to keep adding the stock, and then you stir it up, and then you add more stock, and you stir it up, and you add more stock. Making risotto's not exciting, kids. It's not very exciting to do it. It takes a while. It's more work. It's more like having a relationship with it. And that's why I thought it was important that we make risotto with this. In order to make a good risotto, kids, you have to have a relationship with it. And risotto can sometimes be difficult. So, you're always stirring it, right? See, that looks good. That's cooking down there nicely. It's going to form a nice thick sauce, right? We'll be back in a moment, kids. Okay, so that's what it looks like there, right? See how that sauce is getting thick? Okay, so we're going to taste it, right? We're going to say this is almost done there. It needs to cook a little bit more, but we think it's almost done, so we can taste it, right? It's almost done, kids. Needs to cook for a little bit more. But you always want to taste it before you add more stock. So you go ahead, you add more stock. And then you stir it up and you cook it for a while, and then you taste it and you add more stock, and then you taste it, and then you'll know when it's al dente. And that's what we're going for, al dente. He's not the Italian guy that works on your teeth. That's Al the dentist. When you go and you got your risotto looking like this, right? See that? And where's that liquid I told you would be? See that? That's good. See how cloudy that is? It's thick. The rice is al dente. The onions and the garlic cooked down in there. We added some black pepper. You might be able to see it. If you can't, you want to add some black pepper to it. We just tasted it, right? And it didn't taste good enough. So we're going to add more salt. Make it taste good, right, kids? You just go dump it all in there. That's a good amount of salt there. And then you're going to get your rabbit meat there, and you dump it in. Now that's my ex-wife there, and someone was telling me that maybe rabbits aren't carnivores, and somebody else was telling me that maybe rabbits aren't cannibals. And I said, well, I don't know if I'm not a carnivore, I'm an omnivore. I may be a rabbit, but I like to eat everything, okay? And as for the cannibal part, well, it's just satisfying, kids. Take care of your relationships. They're very important. Or you may end up eating your ex-wife. But she'll taste good. So then you go and you get some white cheese there. You just go and ask your favorite cow there if she'll give you some nice white cheese, 'cause they got it all stored up in their barns there, them cows, So you go and you just throw lots of it on there. There's no need to stop, kids. Cheese is good. It's good with risotto. Thank you to cows everywhere for making the cheese. And then you stir that in there. And you get that all stirred up, right? And that's what that's going to look like. So there you go. That's going to be yummy. Very yummy. Kids. I wish I could shove this through the lens of the camera. Well, take this stuff, I'll shove it in there, I'll give it to you. But I can't. I can't do that, kids. So what I'm going to do, kids, is I'm going to eat all this stuff myself. 'Cause now I'm hungry and I've been cooking it for you. This has been Cooking with Smokin' Bunny. This has been Smokin' Bunny Makes Ex-Wife Risotto. And this has been fun, kids. I hope you've had a good time. It's been pretty cathartic for me. So now I'm going to sit down and eat it. Thanks for coming by. I hope you enjoyed the show.